Hello dear learners, I am Dr. Neeraj Patharkar from Department of Management. Today we will be discussing on a very important topic in the subject advertising, that will be functions and importance of advertising agencies. In the previous module we have discussed about the advertising agencies, their history and their contribution. Today we'll see how all these agency functions and what is their significance for the advertisers and marketers. So let's see why the advertising agencies are hired by the advertisers and corporates. The basic reason behind the hiring of advertising agency is that generally the agencies have a team of experts. They are expert, they are professionals, they have a big team of specialized people like copywriters, directors, planners who are instrumental in creating masterpiece advertisement for various companies, various products. Secondly, the agencies make optimum use of all these people, their experience and their knowledge. They are basically accustomed of dealing with all these advertising endeavors. Third, they work with an objective and are very professional. Unlike when we think of in-house agency, people may not be in-house, they will be creating ad only for one company, but these agencies, they have several clients in their client base, so they keep on creating advertisement on a continuous basis. Then hiring the advertising agencies also results in saving of cost to a certain extent, because what happens, though they may be charging, but when it is in-house agency, you have to create the advertisement hardly 2-3 times in a year, but when it comes to the services of advertising agency, they do it on a continuous basis, so they charge moderately as compared to a situation when it is done in-house. Now in this slide we will see how the different types of roles are played by advertising agency. To begin with, the first is account management and account service. Basically, account management is serving the clients, looking for clients, increasing your clientele, increasing the base, adding more and more clients. For that, you require liaising between the agency and the client. Focus on the need and wants of clients. Interpretation of clients' marketing strategy is also a very important step undertaken by account managers. Then they are also responsible for building a cordial long-term relationship with all the clients. They are also responsible for developing creative brief, and they are instrumental in managing and coordinating tasks on brief, on time, on budget. So all these are the multiple functions discharged by accounts manager. Then we have another very important role which is there in the advertising agency, that is accounts planning or strategic planning, which is related with multiple important dimensions. Number one, research planning, which means the agency people is also instrumental in conducting market surveys and research on a regular basis, and the findings of those research are generally utilized by these agencies whenever any client approaches them. They use this research knowledge for developing right type of advertising message. They do the research generally on consumer perspective, consumer behavior, demand, competition analysis, pre and post advertising effectiveness, and so on. The basic objective of all these is to facilitate effective advertising planning. Once they have done all the research, basically they will be taking care of the final creation of advertisement. They will be in a position to prepare comprehensive recommendations about the consumer's wants, needs based on consumer research. Next, another role, very vital, important role, flagship role we can say, is creativity or creative team. Creativity, as the name indicates, you will see that the basic work of the advertising agency is to create state-of-art advertising, which should be eye-catchy, which should be attractive, which should be capable of presenting a selling message in a very unexpected manner, very exclusive manner. Basic objective is ROI, that is, ideas have to be relevant, original, and impactful. The big idea is the message is both attention getting and memorable. So this is basically the work of the creative team to do the entire creative work so that the much needed impact can be created in your advertisement. Another very important role is the production of the advertisement, which is basically giving a final shape to your advertising. Once this creative work is over, copywriting, illustration and all these things are done, the next very important task is taken by the production team to produce the advertisement. Basically, it is transforming the ideas into reality. Whatever dreams were there of the creative team, those are translated in actual practice. It can be print production also, and it can be audio visual production also. All these things require proper infrastructure so that finally you can create masterpiece advertisement through your production technology. The role of production manager is very important. If the production manager is capable of producing a good advertisement, definitely it will be able to bring more and more clients for the agency. Then another very vital function is, or functional area you can say, is media team. Media planning, that is. Media team is responsible for doing the media planning. Media planning is basically to buy time and space in media. For that you need to set appropriate media objectives also. Once you have proper objectives at your end, you will be able to find the right mix of media. You will be able to suggest the most appropriate and most impactful media mix to your client. Basically, it is not only media buying, it is media scheduling also, which is undertaken by the media team. So this is also a very important role played by the advertising agency. Now let's look towards certain important functions discharged by advertising agencies. To begin with, the first and foremost function is advertising planning. In advertising planning, you have to plan that what type of advertisement you will be doing, what type of messaging will be there, what product, what will be the media, and so on. So this is finalized in discussion with the team. Your entire team will be there, which will be interacting with the advertiser. Next function is creative function. We all know that advertising world is all about creativity. So creative function is also very important. In this, the copy creation, illustration and all these technical aspects along with the innovation and creative ideas are put into your advertisement, so that at the end of the day your advertisement should appear good, should be impactful and eye-catchy. Then the next function is media selection. Now when I say media selection, it means the advertising agency helps the clients to opt a appropriate media. It can be single media, it can be multiple media. Simultaneously, the company can use 2, 3 or 4 media for advertising purpose. So the right combination, the right media mix also is suggested by the advertising agency. Then advertising budget preparation, that is also very important. Normally the corporates, they are not knowing the expenditure and spending pattern which is there in the advertising. So the advertising agency also helps in this area by providing the insight related with how to prepare the advertising budget, what will be the costing under different heads. So likewise, the companies can take help of advertising agencies also in preparing advertising budget. Then another very vital function discharged by the advertising agency is coordination. Now coordination is established by the advertising agency between the media people and the clients, because ultimately media choice is very important, and your interaction with all these media houses is equally important. So the agency is a link between the client and the media. So they have to ensure perfect coordination and proper communication between all the dealing parties. Then another very important function discharged by advertising agency is sales promotion. Not only creating the advertisement, but they also are giving proper and good and timely advices in the area of sales promotion. How to promote, how to create impactful advertisement that can be used to increase the sales output of the organization. That is something which is very crucial, and it is taken care of well by the advertising agencies. Next, public relation is another very important function. Advertising agencies, they are also very handy in establishing good public relations with all the stakeholders, and in that also their advice, their suggestions is very valuable. Many clients, they are depending upon the advertising agencies and their contribution for establishing good public relations, which ultimately lead to establishment of good public image. And of course, attracting clients, it cannot be the last, it should be the first function of advertising agency. Ultimately, after creating a good advertisement which you feel should be capable of attracting the clients, attracting the customers, attracting all the stakeholders, basic objective of advertising will be met. Until and unless you are not able to attract the clients, your entire effort may be of no use. So those are the functions. One more functional area is there, that is non-advertising function. Those functions which are not directly related with the advertising aspects, they are also performed. The consultancy is also given in certain areas which are unrelated, which may not be directly correlated with the advertising world. We'll see that in the next slide. Now have a look at the important functions of advertising agencies. Number one, attracting clients, which we have discussed. We know that basic objective of the advertising is also to generate the business volume. So for that you need to add more and more clients in your clientele. So therefore you have to ensure that you work in such a manner, you perform in such a manner that ultimately more and more clients, they are automatically attracted towards you. Then another very important aspect is client management. Client management means providing whatever is required by the client in a very effective manner, doing the needful for the client, taking care of the needs and requirements of the client in a satisfactory manner, so that the client is satisfied and can be instrumental in positive word of mouth. Then of course the basic function, creation of advertisement, which includes copywriting, drawing, photographs, making illustrations, layouts, and an effective advertising message, designing by experts like copywriters, artists, designers, etc. Then you have another function, market research, which is generally done on competition levels, current market trends, the distribution methods, consumer preferences, buyer taste and preferences. All these are the area covered under the market survey done by these agencies. Then media planning and selection, that is another vital area which is covered by advertising agency, wherein they try to suggest the best media match for their clients. They are in a good negotiating position, so therefore they can recommend a reasonably good and very impactful combination of media. Similarly, another very important function is when they are coordinating between the media and distributors and the advertisers. So their coordination abilities, they are also very significant. Then apart from all the above functions, we have sales promotion measures for the dealers and consumers also, which are very vital area, which are very reasonable for the growth and survival of business. They are also into public relations, as we have discussed earlier also. Public relation will enable to create a favorable public image of the company. Then once this brand image is enhanced for the company, definitely it will be resulting in better sales in the long run, and in the long run definitely you will be able to achieve market leadership also. It also helps in copywriting to attract the attention of customer. Copywriting is something which is very traditional and very, you can say, specific task performed by all the advertising agencies. Creation is something which is synonymous to advertising. It is all about creation, creating masterpiece advertisements. Then they also helps the clients in preparation of budget, because clients, they are not very well versed with the expenditures incurred in the advertising sector. So all those expenditures, they are accounted and a proper budgeting is presented for the client, and client can rely on the expertise of advertising agencies. Then, as we discussed in the beginning, some non-advertising functions, they are also performed, which includes such as giving important suggestions and consultation in the area of product pricing, providing discount, how much discount to give, what percentage will be appropriate. Designing the product also is a very important area which can be looked upon by the advertising agency as its non-advertising input. Then the packaging, how to package, what are the trademarks which you can use, and labeling and packaging related aspects also can be suggested by advertising agency to their clients as some of the non-advertising functions. Now let's have a look towards the importance of advertising agencies. Till now, all of you might have realized that how important is the role of advertising agency for the clients. So let's have a look towards the various important aspects. Number one, advertising agencies, they provide fresh and unique perspective for the business growth. So when it comes to business growth, the role of advertising agency is very crucial, because you know these days the competition is very tough, and to meet the competition, to match with the competitive offerings, we need to be at par with the competitors. So in that, the role of advertising agency is very important. These advertising agencies, they are cost effective also. If they compile the digital media advertising solutions along with their regular offerings, definitely they will be able to offer their advertising solutions at reasonable cost. These agency also ensures access to a holistic marketing and advertising solution. Holistic marketing these days in modern marketing world is of paramount importance, and that can also be made possible with the advertising agencies. And of course, the clients can receive all the solutions to their advertising needs and problems when they approach the advertising agencies. Similarly, advertising agencies, they also have access to top level experts in the advertising field. So they are instrumental in putting in that much needed additional effort, that specialized input that is very important for making the advertisement meaningful and impactful. Then the best thing about the advertising agency is that they are capable of reaching out to the general public through their creative advertisement in a much more impactful and better manner, rather than if it is done in-house, then it may not be that much superior. But when you take services of advertising agencies, they will be able to establish a long-term connect with the market. They know how to impress the crowd. They know how to create that much needed attractive abilities through their masterpiece advertisements. Then in-house expertise under one roof, that is also a very important functional attribute of advertising agency. And the last one, business can concentrate on its core competencies when they avail the advertising agencies. This is possible because when you go for in-house advertising agency, definitely you will be spending time and efforts in that area, so you may not be able to pay attention on your core business activities. So with the impact of the advertising, with the role of advertising agency, by hiring the advertising agency and their different services, you can definitely save a great deal of time, and that will enable you to focus on your core business activities, and you will be able to improve your performance. Rest will be taken care of by the advertising agency, so it is not a big deal. So in general, what we can conclude, that the role of advertising agency is very crucial for the business growth in this competitive era. And you will see that not only the big companies but the middle size organizations, the small companies also approach these agencies for getting their advertising need fulfilled in a better manner. So this is basically the power of advertising. We all are aware with the magnetic effect which is created by the advertising. And I hope in today's interaction, probably you will be able to get more insight into the various important roles and functions discharged by the advertising agencies. Thanks a lot for patient listening.